Once upon a time, there was an old woodcutter who lived in a simple hut in the forest with his wife. Every day he'd go into the forest and he'd collect firewood, which he'd sell in the village. But no matter how hard he worked, he never had more than 2 cents to rub together. What he earned in the day, his family ate up at night. 2 sons were born to brighten his hearth. And when they grew, they worked with him in the forest. They cut 3 times the wood, they earned 3 times the money, but they ate 3 times the food, so the old man was no better off than he was in the first place. Eventually, the sons left home to find fortune of their own. After 30 years of hard work, the old man said to his wife, "I've worked for fortune all my life, and precious little she has given me in return. From now on, if she changes her mind, she'll have to come looking for me." And he vowed to work no more. "What do you mean?" said his wife. "If you don't work, we won't eat." But no matter how hard she tried to persuade him, he refused to budge. In fact, he decided to stay in bed. Not long after this, a handsome stranger came to the door. He said, "I notice you've got 2 mules outside, doing not very much. I wonder, I've got business in the forest. Could I borrow them?" And the old man from his bed said, "Yeah, take them, sure. Just feed and water them." The old man took the mules deep into the forest. He wasn't an ordinary man, but a magician who, by his dark arts, had found out that there was a great hoard of treasure hidden in the forest. When he got to the spot, he dug up a great pile of jewels and gold and began piling them into the panniers on the back of the mules. But just as he was about to leave, a troop of soldiers entered the clearing. And the magician, fearing that they might see the treasure and ask him questions and thereby discover his sorcery and thereby put him to death, fled. And he was never heard of or seen again, at least not in this story. The soldiers left the clearing as quickly as they'd entered, and they saw nothing. And the mules just waited patiently for instructions. And when none came, they simply followed the tracks and pathways through the forest, the ones they'd learnt so well over so many years working in service of the old woodcutter. And when they arrived home, the wife said, "Husband, come and unload these mules before they collapse." And the husband said, "Wife, I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, I'm not working anymore." So the wife, ever the practical one, seized the kitchen knife, cut through the leather thongs on the back of the mules, and the panniers fell to the ground, revealing their treasure. The wife gasped, "Gold! Jewels!" Well, that got the old man's attention. He was out of bed in a flash, and when he saw the gold and the jewels carpeting the courtyard, he grabbed his wife, and they danced with glee, and they danced with abandon. And when they finally stopped dancing, he said to his wife, "You know, isn't it strange? Fortune did come and find us after all." And even though he gave half the money to his sons and the other half of what remained to the poor, that old couple was still as rich could be.